How big was Epstein to Rome, for instance? Epstein considered Italy as a Latin country, consider one as his homeland. He did not like no Germany, he did not like no Scandinavia, he did not like no Britain. What I liked, he loved Italy. Italy for Epstein was like a homeland. Um, and whatever is in between. Melania Trump was considered in Rome when I was in the third grade of the grammar school, fourth grade of the grammar school. Whenever she went to Rome, I was next to her. The condition for Melania Trump to travel to Rome, at least this is what they brainwashed me with, was for me to be next to her. Not next to her, but to travel with her. Why? Because already when I was in a third grade of grammar school, when I was 11, maybe in a second grade of grammar school, maybe when I was 7, 9, yeah, I don't know. 16 is 8th grade, so take 4 less, that's 12, that's a 4th grade. Third grade of the grammar school, I made some mistakes in the part number 1. 11, age 11. Not 6th grade. 6th grade, that's already age... no, what the hell am I talking about? 14, right? 14 is the 8th grade of the grammar school. See, I keep making these mistakes. 12, when you're 12 years old, you're in the 6th grade of grammar school. So, 5th grade of grammar school, Melania Knauss, Melania Trump, Italy. 4th grade already, Italy. 3rd grade, probably 3rd grade, Italy, Melania Trump. She was not the only one. Milan Kucha and Borut Pahor boasted about small girls making enormous money in Italy. About it, Melania Trump was considered as my wife. Imagine that you are 11 years old, 12 years old, and maybe even 10 years old, and they're addressing a little girl, very pretty girl otherwise, as your wife. Well, that was a Melania Trump. That's how they were addressing her in Rome, your wife. Of course, a future wife. They never said your future wife, but this is how they considered her. They considered her somebody special. But what's good having me around was that when I was a small kid in the 3rd grade of grammar school, that means I was 10 years old, less probably, 2nd grade of grammar school, I was fighting for the girls to get the money paid. Whatever. And deeply appreciated fighting with Epstein to pay girls money. And the same thing was with when it comes to Melania. I didn't even have to fight because they addressed her as my wife. She would even get paid, from what I was told, demonstrated by the Rome mayor, by the president of Italy, ministers of Italy that were all involved in this when they had these bunga parties, that she didn't even have to do anything to receive the money. She would just come over and I guess they would give her the money. We had supposedly also this kind of issues. This is how much Melania Trump, previously known as Melania Knauss, traveled to the Italy. I am going to stop here. I don't want to discuss any other issues. She gestured that she traveled to America because of me, that kind of stuff. She traveled to America because of what I stated in the video part number 1. They would literally train them on how to satisfy and target certain politicians with the females, even with the children females. This was Yugoslavia. This was Udba Yugoslavia Ozna. Direct boss was Milan Kučan, Borut Pahor, that kind of people were direct supervision. The Slovenian, Serbian, therefore a Yugoslav, in a parenthesis, communists were their direct connection, their direct link. The godfathers, if you want to put it right way. This is how much. Father Viktor Knavs considered me as, addressed me in a 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade of the grammar school, addressed me directly as son-in-law. I was just 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, and this man addressed me as a man-in-law, basically as a husband of Melania Trump. Just saying, if Melania Trump, somebody's going to dare to say something about doubt about something about these things, entire fucking Rome saw this thing. Entire Rome, entire Italian government participated in this shit. Yeah, you got the reason to be pissed off about the stuff when things go like this, when they go like that, when they do behind your back, when they start doing disgusting stuff like this. When some fuck like Donald Trump comes around the corner and, I don't know, offers few dollars or whatever it is, or, I don't know, interest on this or whatever the case might be, real estate, whatever, investments, whatever it is, and buying this Italian politicians, like you go, say the Germans are not any better. It's also a disgrace. It's just like you go to fucking Ponte Rosa and you buy yourself whatever you need to buy yourself. Well, psychiatry for sale. I mean, he's from Slovenia anyways. So all the stuff I was talking about is just I guess I was just talking to myself. I guess Italians had a completely different plan with me, together with the rest of these Illuminatis. So this is very important that you understand that Melania Trump is not a saint, and I love it. I love to see her, how she's trying to impose the authority, how she tried to shine and basically terrorize, intimidate people. It's kind of fun to see this, because real life is a boomerang. It's like, that's what you get at the end. For Americans, it's something extremely disgusting, and they continue to do something extremely disgusting. Americans played both sides. That's what they do. They continue to crown Donald Trump. They continue to award Donald Trump. I saw the commission. They talked about the commission. That commission inspected Donald Trump's ballroom project. Let me demonstrate this news here. They came up with the news that this was her godfather of Melania Trump. This man right here. So, inspected ballroom, bomb Trump. I don't know. Nah. Approval Donald Trump proposal. No, there is another one. There is another commission. All these commissions were negotiated. They all negotiated, just like a Supreme Court justices, which I mentioned also on the blog. Just like a Supreme Court justices. What the hell is this shit here? This goes all the way to April the 2nd. And the news I'm talking about, for what kind of prevention, sometimes some crap like this that they these guys are all inside of our house here in the city of the Novo Mesto with the politicians. They all negotiated this. All this, they negotiated with Donald Trump, and for them, it was nothing controversial about this. This is like a commission that inspects to make sure that it's not something that would be some kind of national threat. Planning Commission, no, man. Approved as a federal judge, commission has approved. Dismisses another Department of Justice lawsuit seeking. I mean, what I'm trying to say is what Americans are doing is the whole thing is rigged. The whole thing already is being negotiated with this Commission for Prevention of, the security measures that could pose national threat. Anything like this, all these people are here. They already discussed this with Donald Trump. They inspected everything, absolutely every fucking thing, absolutely everything with Donald Trump. They inspected absolutely everything, and what Americans are doing basically is you got a group of people they reserved to go forward with these files, and what they'll do is, it's what I was told also by, I was told this by some black lady told me, a journalist, well-known journalist from New York. She said, this is just going to be basically, if things would not work out for Donald Trump, then it would be your case that would come out. But all the justices, the judges, these commissions, the police, the CIA, FBI, all this shit has been already all prearranged. This shit has been already negotiated with Donald Trump. Basically, America is pushing for the war. It's not Donald Trump alone. Donald Trump is as fucking sick as you, believer, would want him to be sick as. And as long as you're going to be buying this shit that he's sick, he's acting sick deliberately. That's what he gets paid for. This war will continue to roll on. He's a sick fuck, yeah. I mean, if you see yourself in an individual like this, there's something definitely wrong with you. But the point here is there's entire apparatus behind Donald Trump. It's entire Democratic Party, the least. Nothing really is happening. People are creating fake cases, stuff that is not hurting the Donald Trump. They make all kinds of news in the media that is sensational. They ridicule him. They blah, 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 blah. But nobody is asking. Nobody see me. Nobody wants to know about the truth. Nobody wants to touch the truth. So that means the system is rigged. You understand? Now, if there would be something that would come out of another country, out of the foreign country, then you have all this Epstein and all this shit prepared, and they would all of a sudden they would jump again in between and say, oh yeah, well here is the guy, by the way, who was involved in this and that. Obviously that would hurdle Donald Trump. That would actually cause a problem for American politics as it is. America have intention to dominate entire world through the Mideast war, through the wars on the Mideast. Today is Iran, the next time it's going to be against some other country, it's going to be Turkey, it's going to be another country, and so on. This is a systematic takedown of the world. If you get the control of the Mideastern oil, you get the control of the entire world. That's what this is. And so Yeah, they're just basically they blah 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 Epstein and this and that. This shit is this is of a totally different nature. I was watching the video today about gold and actually about the diamonds. It was this guy who was involved in MK Ultra from China who gestured that in China they needed machines they could use to create tunnels through the mountains to dig the earth and that kind of stuff. And those had to be hardened with diamonds to penetrate into the earth and just basically melt earth, ground, and so that they could create those tunnels. And importing diamonds was just not an option because diamonds are just too expensive. So they came up with a technology which allows them, by using those same machines, to create diamonds, real diamonds, just like diamond you find in the nature. These are giant machines that are used for digging the tunnels and stuff. And, you know, those are diamonds, you understand? Then in this world you have gold, and, you know, they call this precious metals and silver and so on. But then there is something that is way more precious. Well, that's basically a democracy. That's basically a fucking right to exist. And Americans don't give a fuck about that right. They like the diamonds. They like fucking gold. They like to steal. Some people say this is materialism and so on. This materialism. I'm going to say it's going to be too fucking late when you wake up. That's all the hell I say. Because a man was buying a stupid commission that would go and they would inspect the project to make sure that the project would not be of national safety concern, that it would not represent security, national threat basically to the nation. So those goes into the category of the coup d'etat, if you understand me. Turning the country around and proclaiming yourself as a king, which, by the way, if Donald Trump would deserve it, trust me, I wouldn't even stand on his way. You get it? If Donald Trump would deserve it, I actually wished him to be king. I didn't even have the problem with it. I didn't want to have a problem with absolutely anybody in this world. You get this? Now, did the Donald Trump deserve it? Well, with your tax dollars, you're going to be paying and sending your own men, women to die over there on the Middle East because Donald Trump was the one who pressed the nuclear button, or that's how you become a king? That's how you earned it? Really? I heard that Donald Trump was a draft dodger. I heard that Donald Trump is a punk, a shit. IRS, taxes, evasion, pedophile, etc., etc. He's got an extensive criminal record. Not to say about the stuff that you were using me for. How the hell am I going to go and see myself in a Donald Trump, in an individual that wanted to bury me, to get me killed, and did absolutely everything possible to get me killed? I can't. Even if I wanted to, as I suggested in MK Ultra, for the sake of peace, because I didn't want trouble, because I wanted my life. I even agreed. This is just the way it is. You sidelined me, you pushed me away, you isolated me, you destroyed my life, you deleted my life. For Donald Trump's sake, you did this. You did this for your shit because you felt you know better. You can do it. All you did is all you did it by yourself. You did it. This is how you do it. All right, this is your thing. But there is one thing. When you go this way, there is all kinds of stuff that can happen in between. And so then Gold is one thing, platinum is one thing. I should say all these precious materials, that's one thing. But when you lose a democracy and you have a total thug, a criminal warlord right at top of the state that's going to treat you like a fucking animals, where you have a mafia guy, a gangster, literally, ruling the country through because that's what happens in a royal world. It's always gangsters. It's always mafia. Whatever the royals are, it's always gangster. It's always mafia. If you like this kind of stuff, and if you feel that this is going to contribute to your lives, to your democracy, that this is just fine, that Donald Trump's deserve it, yeah, that's fine with it. This isn't something you can touch. This isn't something you can, of financial value, like that you can grab and it's worth it money. So I guess that you can throw it away. This is just fine with me too. Whichever way you're going to decide you're going to proceed with this, it's fine. But there's one thing you're not going to convince me. You're not going to convince me that you're doing something in a sense of democracy, something to do the things right. You're just afraid of the other countries that have been implicated in this, and you fear this shit eventually is going to come out on the surface. And it's going to be another country that's going to start to talk about these things. That's why you're busy with the Epstein files. That's why you're busy with all that stuff. If it wouldn't be this way, you wouldn't be hiding it like this. You wouldn't be buying foreign politicians, foreign government, presidents, prime ministers. You wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff that would go out there and death threaten me, and I don't have actually words for this. You are what you are, basically. This is the way it is. It's just nothing new. So this is just part number 2. If anybody's going to doubt about Melania Trump, if Melania Trump is, who the Melania Trump is, okay, you can tell her who Melania Trump is, how the pedophile prostitution started with Melania Trump. And her father, Viktor Knavs, he was too damn happy with this shit. He was so fucking happy that when Milan Kuchan offered him even jobs, different kind of jobs, he claimed that this is not reputable, the truck driving, that this is not good, that he needs a job as some director or something of some company here in Slovenia or something, that he could work like executive or something like this. He refused it, man. He wanted to drive the fucking truck. He wanted to drive the truck because he said, not because he said, but he was making more money with his trips to Italy than he would be making if he was the director of the Krka pharmaceutical company. He was pulling the money out, and they were investing money, house, everything. They started to build like crazy. There was a substantial alternative income involved in Knauss family, and that one was coming directly from the Italy. As for the Epstein, did she met Epstein? Now, are you fucking crazy? I mean, she met absolutely Epstein. She absolutely met Epstein. There's no way that she possibly could avoid Epstein since 1984, and since 1984, and I'm pretty certain that she met Epstein in 1983, maybe even in 1982. Epstein became big in Italy sometimes in 1982, and definitely not want to miss Melania Trump. He was excited about the Melania Trump, and he addressed her that one, the yours. That was Melania Trump, basically. It's impossible the two would miss each other. So now, Paolo Zampolli make himself, I don't even know what to say. He angered me tremendously when I saw the news that he will do what? He will testify for Donald Trump that he what? Shut up, boy. I don't know what happened. Did he already testify or not? But if he testified, this guy is fucking deportation to Italy. This is ready to go to the jail in that case. That's a line, knowingly line, an agreement, directly under oath. That's like one of the biggest violations you can do in the United States of America. If that would be really by the law, you could get, in some cases, you get the life in prison basically for lying. No country in the world is so strict when it comes to lying under oath as it is in the United States of America. You go to the court, you lie, you've been proven wrong about your lies, you're fucked. You're fucked. You can get separately life term in a jail for lying under oath. This is the way it is. That's exactly where you have seen this here. And we're talking about the part number 2. I just didn't take time, I guess, I didn't bother enough to make sure that I would take oh my God, this is just, I am quite speechless about this whole thing. I did not yesterday. I think it was something about this commission, and I said, "Holy shit! I have to do this stupid video on this commission too." They were here. This was the most aggressive people, the most corrupt people, more corrupt than the Supreme Court justices. Was exactly this commission. This is a commission that will give you the okay with the construction project, whatever it is. Concerning whether that will represent any kind of risk to a national security, basically to democracy. And yeah, what I didn't say and what I wanted to say, listen, if there was another guy, if there was a normal guy, I wouldn't give a three fuck about this, whether he wants to, whatever he wants to do. You understand? If he wants to be king or whatever, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Really, I don't care. But we're talking about Donald Trump, right? We're not talking about the regular guy. We're talking about the man whom his own mother have addressed as a lunatic. I mean, my mom addresses me as a lunatic too. And did this literally according to the police instructions, with my having delivered file dossier about Donald Trump, and started to address me in such a way so one day when I would read the news about Donald Trump, I would actually even see myself in Donald Trump. This is how obnoxious this whole thing is. This is how far we came with all this stuff inside of this home with my parents. This is what they turned my life into. Donald Trump has got a plenty indicators that clearly signal serious mental problems. And consider myself going as far as Donald Trump did, you gotta have a very serious fucking mental problems. To do something to the guy like myself, you're definitely not okay in your head. You're definitely not straight. You're definitely mentally ill. That happened to me. What do you think is going to happen to you? You're fucking nobody out there. You are a worker, you're a soldier, wherever the fuck you are, you're fucking nobody. You're just a number. You have no access to absolutely anywhere. Wherever you're going to complain, you're going to be a number. You're going to be nobody. And not you, but entire groups and companies and states and etc., etc., etc. You understand? He's going to step on you and squeeze you like a worm. Won't be left nothing after he's going to step all over you. You don't have a case against Donald Trump, you don't have nothing. I do. And that's how I am treated. And it's not about Donald Trump, it's about global Illuminati criminal network. It's not about Donald Trump only, because that's how they work. They corrupt, they agree to one another, they corrupt one another. They help, assist one another. It's like a pack of hyenas that work together. Alright, I'm just saying, basically. I know, this is not gold, this is not money, this is not what you get from a monthly pay, yearly pay, or whatever pay you get, but the bottom line is, the country, as well as mine, might look very different tomorrow. And it's another bottom line. This is a lunatic. And the lunatic is a lunatic. When it comes to the lunatic, it's reasonable for me to assume, based on his claims, based on his crazy behavior, that he's got in stack something really bad for the country, for the people. Definitely for me. I got no reason to support Donald Trump in absolutely any way.